I kept a hand that lied to me. Like every hope, I still believe. Miss my trigger, miss my chance. Watch my future get exiled, no glance. Everyone saw it, no one said a word. Silence hits harder than counterspells heard.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, creatures and planeswalkers, for another episode of Mana Problems. Episode 8?
8, 9.
8, 9, 10?
We're on 8.
We're on
8?
8.
Episode 8.
Ocho.
We're making it.
ESPN
We're
8.
going.
The Ocho.
The Ocho.
But honestly, we don't really have a lot of housekeeping today.
Right?
It's just kind of jumping right into it on the nitty gritty. I know before T was able to join us permanently on the show, Chad, you and I talked about the possibility of Magic the Gathering becoming feasible in an event
sport.
like the Olympics.
Yes.
So today, I think we want to kind of take today and expand on that a little bit and let you have the floor and talk a little bit more about that. And we will jump in with our input when needed. But first off, I know a lot of people heard it and then we didn't really touch on it after that. So why don't you jump in a little bit and explain what you believe, how this would start is kind of the way I would say let's start explaining this at the LGS level.
It started with, it was originally an idea back in the 90s, and it just kind of petered out real quick because I think Hasbro was like, or not even Hasbro, Wizards was kind of like, are you kidding me? That's retarded. Now I think...
Talking about the Pro Tour?
Yeah, no.
I mean, the original premise behind the Pro Tour?
No, it was actually, while the Pro Tour was being played around with and played and worked on, there was a push to make it an Olympic event or Olympic sport. Then that kind of went by the wayside because Wizards jumped into the pro part of it a lot heavier.
You're talking this in the 90s, Chad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like mid to late.
Okay. Just trying to get a
96,
timeline here.
Yeah.
97.
About when I started playing.
And it kind of went by the wayside because nobody could see the feasibleness of it, I'm assuming. And then about 2 summers ago or something like that, I'm watching some Olympic events and things like that, and it finally clicked in on how to make it work via making everybody level playing fields in that sense of for Olympic trials in the United States. This is where it would start. Is you can only play in an event that a state that you live in, and the Olympic trials would be in everybody's individual state.
So you're saying 50 individual state trials?
Yes.
Okay. Plus 51 if we're including
and you
Puerto
have
Rico.
to be a resident,
A permanent resident of that state.
Of that state to be able to
qualify.
qualify for these positions.
And and what it would be is you'd start the tournament on like a Friday, maybe even just Saturday, and you start with standard. You play 3 rounds of standard. Anybody with 3 losses is immediately out. You've gone, okay, but once you get 3 losses, you're out of the tournament. It shrinks the field faster. Then...
So here's my question from a judge perspective, real quick. Are you making new brackets after you eliminate these?
Well,
people?
it would be the same as just a second. In the big tournaments, they have the Grand Prix and stuff like that. People drop out the entire.
Yes.
Yeah. So whenever they drop out, it just.
But that affects people's percentages and stuff. If you after 3 days or after 3 rounds you drop and restart with the people that are left, then everybody starts with a 0 average.
No, it's 3. Okay. Once you get 3 losses,
I see what you're saying. I understand
know.
where you're coming from.
From a
This is my
judge
same
perspective, Chad,
question.
There are percentages that are used on how these people are determined to be
Advanced.
first, second,
Yeah.
third, fourth,
Yeah.
etc. And it's based on the players that they played and who is still there and who isn't. So when you drop a player, it wrecks that average.
But let me finish the statement of what I was trying to say.
My bad.
You're okay. And I get where you're coming from in the sense of the algorithm is screwed up bad for what they've already set up in. But once you get 3 losses, you're pushed out of that tournament. And then if you want, because I'm thinking, let's say 3 hours in on Saturday, there's a bunch of people that have been pushed out of the standard tournament. Then you got a Pioneer tournament that starts soon after that. And 3 losses there, you're out of that one. And then you have a modern tournament start. So if you're a standard player and you're what you consider a good standard player, and you go and you make it to the top 3, and you're guaranteed you're the state representative in standard for that top. And then if your buddies did Pioneer, there's 3 left over and 3 left over for standard, Pioneer, and modern.
Right.
And then
So teams of 3. for
no,
these particular,
well, 3 individuals. At this point, it's just individuals of these are the representatives for the state of New Mexico. These are Texas, California. Yeah, they did.
Okay, I got you.
3 representatives for each format. Individual players.
Yeah.
Then you have the commander setup.
Right.
The commander setup where it's a lot. It's going to be a lot harder to set up, but I think it's going to be a lot easier because this will be a team. This will be the relay, the team event. That you have a set of 4 people on the team. They are, and when you sit down to play in a pod, if your teammates on the same pod as you, y'all got an advantage, but the other 2 guys have to, it's going to be something that's going to have to be dealt with. First place, 4 points. Second place, 3 points, 2, 1. Same as always for a lot of the tournaments, right?
What about a draw?
Draws are, or if it's like 1 winner and
No. What about a draw?
yeah, just a second. Let me finish. If somebody wins the board, he gets 4 points. Everybody else gets 1 because they got last place. Now draw, I have not figured that one out. That's the one I'm like going. I was really going to ask for a question.
Commander is such a politics-heavy game.
Oh, I know.
That I am of the opinion draws should be worth nothing, right? Trying to politics your way into the top should not
Okay.
work, especially in that caliber of.
Right.
I'm 100% in agreement. When you're at that high of a playing field, you should honestly be penalized for politicking. It's about winning.
But
It's
okay.
about playing and winning. It's not about politicking the table and running it up to time to go to turns
Right.
and scoring points on a draw. Because
If-
we've seen that. We see that happen in
Yeah.
competitive a lot. More now than we did in the past, but it's definitely becoming more of a prevalent thing.
Yes.
And I feel like when you're putting, you haven't gotten to prizes, but I would assume these are going to be, we're talking serious money. We're talking
I
other
was
things.
thinking
So
some other stuff, but that's
that
okay.
kind of behavior, one, shouldn't be positively reinforced by
Yes.
putting it on television, and 2, it ruins the spirit of the game.
Now, in that setup, you break it down by the teams build the points up, and after I think it was 8 rounds, the teams with the high, like the 5 or the I think it was the top 4 teams would then go into a separate pod thing. You take those top 4 teams of 4 people and just randomize the thing. You randomize the grouping, and they're playing for top 3 at that point.
Bless you.
One team is going to be out, no matter what. Even though they're going to be out, it's kind of like they will have something out of this.
Yeah.
But it's like you came this close to going to the next level of the Olympic trials. It's in a lot of ways, it's kind of the same setup that the colleges do in the regions, or whenever they do regionals for the Olympics. The individual states have competitions amongst, or their like the leagues, SEC, Big 12, all those things. They have a Big 12 regional Olympic trial, blah blah blah, and they all against each other and against each other and again, and then the top 3, top 4 move on to the next round, depending on what race, what event, what this, what that is going on. But the reason I chose number 3 on you lose 3 rounds, you're out, was to dwindle the not so much riffraff, but dwindle down the players to a manageable number. Because let's be honest, if you've ever gone to a Grand Prix or a Magic Fest or whatever, the main event was always like standard or sealed or something. And day one, it was 7 rounds, and your object was to go X and 2. So if you had 2 losses, you made it to day 2. If you go through this and just have 3 losses, you're gonna drop. You would drop out normally.
Yeah.
And this tournament lasts until there are essentially a first place, second place, third place, fourth place. And the fourth would be their, the alternate. So whenever all is said and done, you have the New Mexico 3 in standard, pioneer, modern, and you have the teams for commander. And then you have the states that are really, really big, California, Texas. You'd have to split them up into 3 different regions, because there's because you got essentially you have Dallas, San Antonio, or Houston, and Austin. I think is the 3 big hubs.
All right, you're missing a whole ass chunk of Texas.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is it should be Dallas, Austin, and then either you could say Lubbock, Odessa, Midland,
El Paso,
or El Paso. I mean, and even El Paso is so far removed from all of that, it's harsh.
Texas is huge.
So, but you split Texas into 3 in a pie of 3, and then the winners, and then they meet in like Austin and have a playoff, and then they got the 3. So the 3 from Texas, 3 from this, and then we have one big meetup. And initially I was thinking Colorado Springs, because that's where the Olympic Training Center is, because it'd be kind of neat to big Magic tournament there. But then it also came to mind that St. Louis would be the one that actually, logistically wise, would be the most centralized. The biggest issue would be, let's say, Alaska and Hawaii traveling to St. Louis.
Well, yeah, but they're going to be traveling no matter what.
And if the money is there, and if, let's say, Hasbro does it, because Hasbro's going to have to sponsor it, Hasbro's going to have to put out the money for a lot of this.
Yeah, and they don't have none.
Yeah, I know. They're on the verge of bankruptcy right now. I think Wizards of the Coast is what's only keeping them afloat right now. But it also may put them in a positive light again.
Well, of course.
And spending this amount of money may pull them out of their fat out of the fire, kind of thing. Maybe. I don't know.
Doubtful.
But once you move past that point, and you have the 3 representatives from the United States for each one of those, you copy the same setup in every country, but the difference would be some countries are a lot smaller, others are bigger. And the big thing about this was one of the reasons why everybody's like, well, it can't happen whenever they originally thought of this process, is because Magic isn't spread far enough. It's not in enough languages. It's not in enough things, so they can't do it, because that was one of the big foibles for the Olympic Committee, is Is it
not
in?
widespread enough?
It was not widespread up in the 90s. They can't say that now.
Right. Except that they don't print things in Russian anymore, and
Right.
there's all kinds of things that have happened since. But yeah, no, I get what you're
My
saying.
that's kind of my biggest hang up on all of this is how would you translate on the fly in a live match?
You would literally have to have two translators.
Yeah, like
Or-
that would be
You know,
it would be a very
Well,
convoluted
it's-
process to have to go through.
Not as much as you would think, in the sense of if the cards, let's say, let's just standard, because it's the most recently printed, it's the most recent stuff out. There are so many different artworks for each card anyway, and it's kind of like, well, you would have to have each of those cards in a standard printing, artwork, language, not language, but artwork, so that everybody knew what they did.
I honestly feel like if you were getting to that point, if we're talking about playing in something the size of the Olympics,
Yeah.
then you would be submitting your deck ahead of time.
Oh, big time.
It would be custom printed for that event in
Well, I don't know
what
about
language.
custom. Yeah, I was like, I don't know about custom printed, but
You know what
maybe-
I'm saying? It would be printed so that the Olympic Committee had control over the cards until you sat down at the table.
Or the judges.
And you were handed, the judges would hand you
Your deck.
the sleeve deck.
Yep, without you
Shuffle it
having-
now
yeah.
in front of everyone because you're not allowed to touch these cards until you sit down at the table.
Right.
For marking, all of those kind of things. Because cheating is a thing.
Yep.
It's prevalent in every game out there. Cheaters exist.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about this level of something, I'm sure people would try to cheat any way they could to get away with it.
Absolutely.
And that would be my thing, is I would feel like that would be the only way, and to be able to see, okay, if I'm sitting across from a guy from China
Yeah.
that I know on the fly, okay, he just dropped cataract parasite. I'm naming a random card. I mean, it's not standard legal right now, but you know, I would know on the fly so I can react, because priority would take so long going through each player, having to say, okay, he drops this, and then okay, it's this, and then we have to wait to see.
Commander-wise, bro, the logistics are going to be crazy.
Yeah.
But in standard, it should be very simple. Like,
I also wanted.
No, I am thinking very commander forward. I'm not really thinking standard because I don't play a lot of standard anymore.
well, but you know,
But
he's
he's
talking
talking
about
standard
every
right now.
Yeah, he's talking about every format, and he's saying specifically in this iteration of the conversation, let's talk about standard. And so, like, as a standard, it should be very simple. You need one guy sitting there translating the words spoken to the other players. You know what I mean? You don't really need somebody like, or you don't need a whole lot of interaction there. You need one guy being like,
English, Chinese.
he said he's swinging these two creatures at you for 15.
He said, "You're a bitch."
And also, I wanted, because of how people, like you said earlier, like to drag the time out. And this comes to where arenas, like one of the things is a timer and a chess thing.
That's my big bugaboo is, all right, you play a card, now we need to stop a timer because translators need to get involved, and that shouldn't take away from gameplay time. And then
Right.
the time clock is going to be like on, off, 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 on, off.
Which is
it's going to be crazy. Like
very much
whoever is in charge
chess.
of the clock is in for a long day.
Well, it's the same as like some chess matches.
Yeah.
You'll watch them and you'll see, it'll be, the starting, bap, move, bap, move, bap, move, bap, move, bap, move, bap, and then all of a sudden it's like, and you see that clock go, tick, 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 it's just ticking away, and he'll move, bap, and the other guy will go and react, and then all of a sudden it's back to the tack, 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 tack. In that setup, you can get away with a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
The commander setup is going to take a lot longer, because you can have a guy that speaks or can translate from Chinese to English and English to Chinese.
Yeah.
One person can do that. But in let's say a pod at the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, let's
you
just
gotta-
say it's the U.S., Russia, China, and France.
Right.
So now you've got 4 different translators all involved.
Yeah.
And now you have to have somebody who can translate French to Chinese, French to Russian, Russian to French, Russian to Chinese, all the there's like,
Yeah.
you're talking You know,
But you also have that there, and the Olympics already has those resources
yes,
there.
they do.
And they prepare for some of this. They have people that know
But
X languages.
what I'm saying
and
is,
X,
it would in a
It
in
would
a
be a
in
bitch.
a 50-minute game, it would take 3 hours because of all the translation and the back and
For
forth.
the
and
commander, I'm agreeing. with some of
I
that.
think even in a standard game, it would take you probably an hour to play one game of standard.
Depends. Like I said, so because the cards are so
Common, I guess.
read, like
Standard would be the one that would definitely be faster. Commander is when it would take.
modern would be really fast.
Yeah.
I think
The one that's going to take the most time will be Commander,
Of course.
But the other one that's going to take the next one, it would be Pioneer, because of the card stock or the amount of cards that are there and the restrictions that they've placed upon Pioneer is in a different world, in a heavy-handed. The issue with that I see happening in the United States more than anywhere else is the people that live in, let's say, here in New Mexico, traveling to Albuquerque because that's the most centralized area of size. For us, it'd be a 6-hour drive, whatever. But let's say you got the guys that live on the border of New Mexico, Texas, and they're going, well, I can't make it to these over here. I'm going to go to this one over here. And then they go over to Albuquerque and then find out that Texas driver's license or the ID ain't afloat, and they're going to yell bent out of shape. And you've got to specify, and that's going to be the one thing that is just going to piss more people off is you can only play in your one state. And I also see this as a chance to curb a lot of pros, because a lot of the pros live in California, because that's the easiest place to start from, bounce off to, and go from, let's say, from LA
do we
to.
want to curb off the pros?
Yeah, I know. That's the other side of it. Do we want to
saying.
open the door?
I'm just saying, do we want to curb the pros or do we want to let them in?
I think.
I mean, that's what the whole point of this is supposed to be, right? Is like the best of the best. That's
Yeah.
what they are.
But you also got. I want to be able to let everybody have a chance.
Well, of course.
And then, the guy from North that lives in North Dakota, and those guys that live there, and have somebody from there represent their state.
No, I get it.
But whenever it comes down to it, you've got to think about the guys that are going to be playing. You're obviously going to get a lot of pros in there because there's just a lot of pros playing.
Yeah, but
But a lot of the pro players live in California. Some live in Florida. Some they live all over the states and country. But there's a large chunk that live in California. And like I said, we're going to split California into 3 sections anyway. Because
Get your 3 people.
yeah, and I don't think once you are at a state level, yeah, it's going to be an issue. But once you get to that
once you get past the state
regional
levels,
and national qualifiers, it's not really going to matter because it's about the best of the best from each state going. So if you're a pro and you're in your state, you should be going anyway, regardless of where you got to travel to.
Yeah.
And-
But like you said, if only 3 pros from California get to go, it's going to really weed out the competition.
But it's about the best of the best.
It is.
Coming and representing for your country.
is.
But
so
one of the things is I do want to have it state by state. And one of the issues that a lot of these Grand Prix that they used to have is that was what the big draw was. You could pull people from
Every state.
to come play at them. And there were guys that I knew whenever they were having Grand Prix that would travel 8 states away to go play at the one in Virginia or in Richmond, or they'd go to play the one in Seattle or play the one that was in Honolulu, which I think they've had one that was in Hawaii. It was a giant, in a lot of ways it was a bust, but it was also a lot of the people that went.
it was a destination tournament, which it was cool. I mean, you got to go play Magic, and you also got to have a vacation to Hawaii, which was nice.
Yeah, but it was the pseudo bust for that was you went to Hawaii and
Sat inside and played
Yeah, I don't think I was about to say I don't think many of us saw the beaches or anything.
Right.
But,
But-
we went to Hawaii.
But that was the part that I found funny in my mind was like, and they'd have Grand Prix in Singapore and they'd have Grand Prix in London, and people would travel from the United States to go play in those because they were a way to get into the Pro Tour. So I mean, there was a lot of give and take with that, and there was a lot of money involved too. So it was like, oh my gosh, that's just crazy. One of the things that I'd like to see if this happens is every level, like let's say the standard modern, pioneer modern, at those levels, whenever you go in a state setup, the prize pool is of a decent value of card reprint / whatever. Commander, I've got a specific layout that I want to happen that probably won't happen, but that would be the thing that would draw a lot more people to it, is on a state level, if you win, your team makes it into that level, your teammates all get a set of duels, a single, like
All 10.
all 10 duels that means there's 3 sets of 4 that make it. Every state that would put out.
They don't even have that. There's not that many in circulation.
Right. But there is and there isn't, because you don't know how many
4th
4th edition.
150 times 10 is
1,500.
1,500 dual lands.
Yeah. But you think about it. They've
And
got
that
alpha,
times-
beta.
Times 4. My bad. Times 4 because it's for each player.
Yes.
6,000.
Times 3 because there's 3 teams.
18,000.
Copies of dual lands, Chad.
Yeah.
No.
So,
But they would also be. Yeah.
we talked about that, and my rebuttal to that was make them like the World Championship proxies, the
make
gold
'em-
border
Make them specifically for
prizes for this, but they are still legally playable.
non-tournament legal copies because
Yes.
they don't have magic backs.
Yes.
But Commander.
That was my thought behind that, was making them into like those gold
But-
border.
All right. Let's run some numbers then. With ABU and revised, how much revised, how much ABU was printed, and how many of
Oh
those are
my
out there?
God,
Exactly.
dude.
18,000.
But you're talking
There's no-
18,000. There's no
added
way
to.
there's 18,000 dual lands in circulation
That's
right
what
now.
I'm
There's
saying.
no way.
There's no way.
They wouldn't be $500 if there was
It
18,000 of
would
them
be,
in circulation.
It would be $900 if there was that many.
Oh well.
They
But
would
this
be like
is-
$100 a piece.
But
If.
this is the
Circulation. I'm not saying like.
But I
That's
get what
not
he's saying
counting.
is how much is still sitting sealed that we don't know. How many are
Well,
how many
for
are
sure,
still
there's
sealed that we don't know?
There's a possibility that they have
18
another fucking random warehouse full of legends.
18,000 though? No. 5,000? Yeah, I could see 5,000 in circulation. Maybe.
But you don't. I mean, I don't know. You don't. But
But
I don't know the numbers.
My rebuttal behind that was to just make them into a gold border prize card and print it with a magic back. If Wizards is going to support it, then put a magic back on it, but put a gold border around it.
But that was my high process wish list. Now, granted, I don't think that's ever going to happen.
I don't even know if
there's
we could find how
There's
many dual
93
lands are in.
Tundras on TCG Player from Revised.
Okay.
7 from Unlimited,
So 100 right there.
right? 2 from Beta, 5 from Alpha.
So 107.
That's up
On
for sale
market.
right now.
For sale on TCG Player,
But
one
yeah,
land.
Yeah.
107. That's a
Far cry from 18,000.
Oh, I
well.
get that.
Okay,
but
but
also,
wait. That's one of 10. So, right, 1,800.
So that's
You need 1,800.
1,070. If we're saying there's 107 times 10, that's
No. Like, yeah.
1,070
No,
right
no,
there.
no. I was saying that's about 18,000. There's 10 lands, right?
Yeah.
You only need
1,800 per.
1,800 tundras. There's not even
1,000.
180 tundras for sale.
On
That's
that one's website.
On TCG Player,
Right.
which has
more
more
yeah.
things for sale than
Anywhere else, right?
most places.
I mean,
Especially
higher dollar
that
stuff.
kind of stuff.
Right, I know.
Higher dollar stuff, maybe Card Kingdom or whatever, but they don't have anywhere.
No,
near
it's not.
that.
It's,
You think they have 100 tons?
No.
the one that
Maybe
would be the
20.
one that you'd ask if you Star City. I think is still the top.
Star City. Let's go see.
But that would be. And like
Check
I said, this is
what's the most common one? Is it Tundra or is it Badlands?
It's actually going to be Plateau.
Plateau?
The cheapest one, but we'll get there in a second. Hang on. I just typed in Tundra as a.
Just basic go-to. Badlands is always my go-to when I search duels because I
It
don't
was
know.
just one of them. We'll do Plateau.
What was your first dual land you ever got? Taiga? What was yours, T?
Underground Sea.
Underground Sea? Yeah, mine was Badlands. That's why I always use Badlands.
So I pulled it out of a pack. Underground Sea. Traded it for a scrub land and a Badlands.
My older brother Pete pulled the Badlands out of a pack. Didn't know what dual lands were and threw it with all of his common stuff and said that I could have it. And I took it and kept it for years and I still have it.
3. They have 3 plateaus.
So,
but
That's Star City. I'm just saying.
TCG is definitely your or eBay would be your most common marketplace, and I don't think eBay even has. The last I looked, they had like 50 something.
This is a wish list kind of thing.
For sure. But my brain says back to reality.
Yeah.
That's not feasible. What would be realistically feasible is
From the vault.
That would be fantastic. But no, like a play set of shocks and fetchies, a play set of things that are actually usable in current Commander right now that Commander players still want.
And my other thing was, or bring back the Guru lands.
Well, from the vault,
or make some kind of specialty basic land that you would have only gotten from participating in this.
Well,
just like Guru lands.
So me and Chad had talked about epic secret layer, or not secret layer, from the vault, which is secret layers before they were secret layers, where they did the 10 dual lands, the 3 Urza lands.
Yeah, the Tron lands.
No.
Or which Urza ones?
The
Sanctum.
Gaia's Cradle,
Oh,
Sanctum,
those ones.
and
Okay.
Tolarian Academy, because the other 2 from that set are mid.
Yeah.
Valakut and Cabal Coffers were like the ones that we had talked about as like the best like options, and because secret layers were 15 cards. I mean, from the vaults were 15 cards, always 15 cards. So that would be 10 dual lands and 5 monocolored legendary lands.
Yeah.
And the basis was it would have been a great secret lair to. From the vault. At the same time. I know you did it to me.
Well, we're just
But
we're conditioned to secret layer now
Yeah, I
because
know,
from the
but-
vault hasn't been a thing, and
Well, it would have been the perfect from the vault to do for a prize, as in at a major event or anything like that. Here's this thing that you can only get from winning this event, and it was
They're all one of a kind.
yeah.
Yeah.
You only have one, or first place gets this one secret lair, and it is the duels.
15 cards.
These 15 cards, and it would be one of those kind of cool holy crap monuments that, oh my god. And the guy, the half the joke is that whoever wins and would get that, 90% of the time they're already selling it before they get it.
Yep.
Because they're using the money that they're getting off of the prizes
to
support.
support the next venture.
Yeah, that was the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people look at like people who play cards professionally, and a lot of like streamers and stuff, and think that they're super rich, and that you don't make a lot of money off.
No,
of this.
no.
Like, the money you make is off the prizes that you get, and
That's how you make your money back, is by
Yeah.
winning. If you
And-
don't win, you don't make no money.
yeah, it's,
Well, I mean,
it's rough.
and like the pros right now, it's the money that they win from the event allows them to go to the next event,
next
or
event.
the prize money they get for placing or whatever it is what they use to make it to the next event, and then you throw in all the prizes support that they get from that too.
Yeah, well, and traveling is definitely not cheap right
And,
now.
oh my god,
I don't think it ever will be again, unfortunately. But I like what you're saying. Obviously, there's things that need to be worked out. How long of an event are you talking about?
I
with this?
wanted to
'Cause
try to make it like
You're talking like
a weekend.
8 rounds of
So he wants to start
on like a Saturday and
Well,
end
Friday
on,
and working through Saturday.
so
Sunday.
Friday through Sunday.
Yeah, we'll
And
start on Friday. Yeah.
yeah, okay.
The thing with the one that's going to take forever, in my personal view, is the Commander.
Commander, yeah.
So that would I would like to start on Friday, but the issue with there is
You're not going into any of the other events if you're
Right.
signing up for Commander.
Yeah.
You're not trying for Standard. You're not trying for Modern. You're not trying for Pioneer. If you sign up for Commander, you're there all weekend.
grinding,
playing,
Commander.
grinding.
And that's kind of where I'm trying to iron out
And
some of
are all
these.
fives, right? Everybody's playing a five.
Are we
More than
are we
likely.
talking 5? Are we talking a 3? Are we
No.
talking CD,
This is C,
CDH?
straight C,
Okay.
because this is competitive. This is those segments where you go, this is going to be a balls out.
Well, and that right
thing.
there is going to separate
Oh yeah,
the casual player
Okay,
from.
now here's my question after that, right? Do you think that the ban and the ban list sits as it is right now would be okay with like in the Olympics, or do you think that they would have to revamp everything?
I don't know that, and my off the top of my head, because I haven't even thought of it like that in my mind, because I don't know.
I'm sorry. That's,
No, you're good. It's a great question in that sense of, I don't know, because I'm not a judge, and you know that. I mean, I've been told, and and I'm like, oh, okay, so this is how this works,
yeah.
and you've told me how this and this works, and like, okay, and a lot of people come to me with judge questions,
Of course. 'Cause
and
you've been
I've
playing forever.
because I'm playing forever, and sometimes I'm the wrong one to ask, because I'm a lot of those rules I'm remembering back in the day, which they've changed 800 times, and
Of
like
course, yeah.
phasing, love phasing, because to me phasing, if it's in play during your upkeep, it goes out of play. When it comes back, if it's not in play when you're upkeep, it comes right back into play. It was that simple to me.
But
But
it
it's
doesn't happen during the upkeep anymore.
I know
And
it got more and more complicated as time progressed.
well, that's because the game got more and more
Right.
complicated as time progressed.
Yes, sir.
Is that okay? Can we talk about it being complicated?
Is it okay, Riley?
I think he's dreaming. He's just chilling, big chilling, bro.
But
He lives a complicated life. He's
oh yeah,
many
Sleep,
complicated decisions that he makes every
sleep,
day.
eat,
and
beg, sleep, eat, beg, sleep, eat, beg.
yeah,
Sleep, eat, get petted.
yeah, it's a tough life to live.
Tough life.
But whenever you overview it like that, because with the band list right now,
Well, there,
and or what. I don't understand.
I would
like
think
to see what
that
happens.
we would have to have a completely different list of what are considered game changers, what are considered ban cards.
Well, but in a
And
five,
then-
In a 5,
there's no game changer limit, right? So
Right,
we're
but-
not concerned about that.
well, ban
But the
cards
banned cards,
specifically, but
like-
I'm talking about standard
We're
too.
talking about like legacy, vintage
Yeah.
levels, right? Is Lion's Eye Diamond really okay? I mean,
Here's the
just
next
saying.
question along this insane list of things that are in this thing is the question that's going to be kick this into that next level is going to end up being proxies for this level.
Well, like I said earlier,
if Hasbro,
if
Yeah.
Wizards and Hasbro are behind this,
there's no way.
then there's no way that proxies would be allowed, period. It would be no proxies.
They might let Magic 30 and World Championship deck cards in
Yeah.
because they are technically Wizards of the Coast products. They might let that be, but
Right.
I doubt it. If Wizards is
So that would be Wizards is not going to let obviously not let proxies in, but because of the community that's been built around Commander, now not the community that's built around CEDH, but actually in some cases the CEDH guys are the ones who are playing more proxies than anybody else because
those
Well,
cards
because
are,
we're constantly playtesting new metas.
but those
and
cards
playtesting
are
new,
also really
they're expensive as hell, man.
Buying a
But
Mox Diamond is not the simplest thing.
this is
you
my
can
stand
do.
on it. If you're playing for an event this big and you're playing for prizes that are this big, you shouldn't be playing proxies.
Right.
If you can't get the cards for that deck, then find sponsor. If you're going to represent your LG wherever for an Olympic event, then get with your LGS and maybe they'll lend you the cards.
Right.
Something. If you're gonna go advertise for them.
Yeah.
You know, be an entrepreneur and hustle a little bit and try to get them. But I don't think that you should be allowed to play proxies at all in an event this big, period. And I'm all for proxies.
Yeah.
I've said it before. I love playing with proxies because
'cause
it's
it's
easy to play test stuff. But if you're going to represent your country in an event, then you're not going to come with a bunch of printed pieces of paper in a sleeve.
Oh, I
You
agree.
need to come
Well,
with cards.
but I
And-
also think that if this was happening, that Wizards would be probably forced to print the cards to demand for the deck.
I
They would
think
probably
that would
be shredded after the event.
Oh wow, that would
Well,
be an interesting take.
Because
I
if you're
think that would be
printing if you're printing dual lands and guys cradles, you can't leave them out there.
No, it's going to
can't-
tank the value. But
Well, but no, it's against the RL.
well, yeah, and that
And so if you could get around it by going, this is for
controlled
this,
environment.
for this controlled environment, and they're all destroyed, so there's
Yeah.
not extras being added to the.
Yeah, you have a judge oversee the destruction and
Well,
make sure
I mean,
that.
you leave the decks on the table.
Yeah, well, exactly. And the
And
same thing
you-
with now you cannot tamper with your deck in between rounds. The officials have control over this stuff.
Once the game's over for the commander side, game's over. Everybody put your hands on the table.
You have a deck list, and your deck's going to get scrubbed and checked against your deck list for any missing cards.
Scoop your cards up, put your decks on the stack, and do not touch them. Get your hands away from the decks.
exactly.
And everyone's taken up and put in the deck
into
boxes.
the 4 slots for their
Yeah.
table.
Yeah,
It would
and
be
walk
like
away.
casino rules
Yeah.
where, you don't touch nothing after
They
action is
count.
done. You don't
They
touch
count.
anything.
Yeah, they count everything. They double check against everything.
Yeah, somebody would have to be back there
it
checking
would
each
not
card
be
and checking off a
random deck
checklist.
checks. It wouldn't be random deck checks.
No, every deck would get checked between
Right.
every
it would
round.
be
Right,
it would be mandatory every deck.
and that would be at that
Yeah.
level. But then you've got, and events like the Olympics is 2 weeks long.
Yes.
So you've got to give up 2 weeks of your life
Yeah.
for this.
More because you got
I
training and all the shit
would
for it.
I have a feeling that most people's workplaces
Oh yeah.
and whatever would be okay with giving you the time off for you
the
going
Olympics?
to represent your country in the Olympic Games.
Oh yeah.
If they didn't, that would be a hell of a media story.
Oh yeah. They
That
would
would
be.
make you look very bad and not anywhere in the semblance of a
The
patriot.
joke of that situation is that, oh, you're going to stop me from going. You say I can't go. Okay.
So you
what's
hate
the-
America. That's what
yeah.
you're telling me.
Yeah.
So you're now anti-America in the Olympics? I didn't say that. I just can't get. You can't. No, 2
I
weeks.
didn't-
No.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you were a communist.
Yeah.
So then you go, and they go, what? And I'm like going, yeah, I'm about to call the local in NBC, ABC, CBS affiliate, and we're going to start a chain, and you'll be closed within a week.
Basically.
The sad thing is we're such a small town, we don't have a local news station.
No.
Well, it's
Our
called-
local news station
KZOR.
is KZOR.
But for us, it would be called the Lubbock stations.
Oh, it would be the
or-
Hobbs News Sun.
Or the Hobbs News, or
Get on
Albuquerque,
Facebook and bitch on the
Roswell,
411 page.
page.
Roswell. I think they have a news service on TV thing in Roswell, and then
I don't. My TV
Albuquerque.
picks up Lubbock.
Albuquerque, definitely.
That's what I get.
Albuquerque,
I get
Lubbock.
Lubbock, Texas. That's
Yeah.
what I get for news. So
But you that would start a media storm from just
Oh, yeah.
contacting, and then you're taken care of.
wow.
It's called done. But they would, because of that, some people would reach out and go, "Here's the money for you to go." That's the other side of that scenario. How many companies?
We have a very awesome community in this game.
Oh yeah,
I will,
for sure.
I will say that. Like, the community from this game is amazing. The outcry, the support people get just by playing Magic and being part of that community is crazy.
You remember? Damn it, I forgot his name.
Cool.
Great, but he was a YouTuber.
Yeah, that guy.
And he got sick before a major event. I think he was one of the Goldfish guys.
Okay.
And he got sick to the point where he was in the hospital bad sick. And everybody found out about it. And they got a GoFundMe page started. He didn't start it.
Yeah.
And because as a YouTuber and all this stuff, you don't pay too much for insurance because you don't have the money. And they paid for his entire stay in the hospital via GoFundMe account. And I'm trying to remember his name. He was on one of community college, Tulare Community College guys, and then he was on game nights and he was on all this other stuff for a while.
Chad.
But
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, I know.
That's so.
That's
the
so vague.
possibilities are so many.
That's so vague.
Whoever it was, I'm terribly sorry that you were sick, and I'm glad you're better.
Yeah,
but
I'm glad
I'm
that
trying
the
to
community
remember his
came
name.
to your
Yeah.
side.
I
but
don't know. I
no
don't know
idea
who this
you're
person is,
talking
but
about.
I know,
I'm-
that's what's bad about me, because it just
I
reminds
also
me of how
don't. I don't
so
know.
much support.
The support.
I don't
from-
know people outside of the general people that I talk to on a daily basis because I don't reserve space in my mind for names that
But I have seen the support from the community.
even our local community.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's great, dude.
but
When we opened our
from-
store, we had amazing support
Yeah, man,
from our
from-
local community, and
From local communities all over the place, I've watched it happen. So I
this
have no question.
this
that
community has a lot
will
of
happen
negative stereotypes attached to it, but 99% of them are not true.
But
And
just because we like to carry around, cardboard rectangles doesn't mean anything.
yeah, well, and we like anime and comics, and
I'm a nerd.
yeah,
Let me
I'm a
be.
nerd, dude. I'm proud of it. It's
I-
cool now. It wasn't cool when we were in high school, but
But I think as a whole, this would be a great opportunity for Hasbro to pull themselves out of a fire, because I think they're within like
they're
In a
they're
quarter-
circling the drain of Chapter 13.
in
Banner
a quarter being, Chapter 13 or bankrupt or whatever.
or Chapter 9 or whatever they're going to end up. But I agree with you there. I think it would be a great opportunity for them to make up some revenue and get the name of Hasbro out there, because they're not in the video game world. They're not in the AI virtual reality game world. Board games are not really a thing that kids
Are interested.
are interested in.
The most thing they got going for them right now is the Transformers movie,
Yeah, and that's okay.
it. Because
That's not
everything
going to
else,
pay the bills.
everything else is either Wizards of the Coast,
Mm-hmm.
G.I. Joe.
but I mean, the G.I. Joe movies were giant flops.
What? Yeah.
The Transformers movies were
The-
good up until a point.
The second G.I. Joe movie was good.
Was not bad.
The first G.I. Joe movie was
Horrific.
Explosions by Michael Bay.
Yeah, I know. But
I mean, Michael Bay is Michael Bay, and Michael Bay does Michael Bay.
yeah, well, I
But-
mean, he likes to throw everything exploding in front
I
of
would
your
do.
face.
If you want something blown up right, you can call Michael
was-
Bay, dude. Like,
But that was Transformers.
explosives expert.
That was the first Transformers movie. That was his
Cinematic
thing.
depth,
Oh yeah.
0. But
There no character.
cool special
development.
effects.
No
Like,
character
very.
development. Yeah.
if you want 2 hours of non-stop CGI special effects and pyrotechnics,
Yeah.
Michael Bay is for you.
But,
Zero
I mean,
plot
he
that
was
you
the-
have to follow.
He was the one that did the very first Transformers movie, which was a big hit,
No,
and it's
because of
supported-
Megan Fox was a big hit in that.
oh
That was,
god. Okay.
that was the reason that was a big hit. But
Okay, I guess.
Also, the CGI was really good.
the CGI
The
for its
fact
time
that they
was
brought
great.
back the original Optimus actor for
Made
the
a big,
voice,
made a big hit.
and it made a big thing. The second movie was a little bit better done in the sense of a story behind it and or character development. After that, it kind of went sideways for a while, and I think the last one that they did, the Beast Machines or Beast Wars story, was really good.
I felt like
haven't
I
watched
waited
Transformers since
2
the second.
hours to watch some Transformers transform, and I was unhappy about that.
Yeah, I stopped at the second one. Like that.
I'm
was
just
kinda
saying,
where
I
cut it
watched
off.
I watched the movie. I watched Beast Machines or whatever, Beast Wars or whatever the
Yeah.
title was called. And I felt like I sat there for 2 hours trying to wait for the beasts to transform,
And they didn't very much.
for them to finally transform, and me be like, "Yay! What should have happened at the beginning finally happened."
Yeah, It just was one of those kind of franchises that I fell off of. It was like Fast and the Furious for me. After like the third one, I was like, it's the same movie over and over again. It's the same movie
and I
in a
get
different
that.
location with different cars.
No, and I get
And
that, and I
that's-
understand that.
that's
It's
that.
just that one made money in comparison to the 3 and 4 before that didn't make money.
I'm honestly
as much.
surprised that Transformers hasn't put The Rock in it yet to try to like make more money.
They did that with the G.I. Joe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you throw The Rock in it, it'll make money.
So, G.I. Joe can't be cool anymore.
Nah.
Yeah, I know.
G.I. Joe is cool. I
even
actually, no, you know what? Fuck you. G.I. Joe is cool.
It can't be cool to the people that are growing up anymore because it's too political. No, it's not about the politics. If it was political, they might be interested.
Honestly, yeah.
It wasn't about politics at
No.
all. It was way over the top, cheesy villains and way over the top, cheesy heroes with ridiculous names based on their personality. Like it is too far
Removed from reality.
removed from this generation. They're
Yeah.
all about inclusion and things, and naming somebody fucking Redskin pisses them off.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it can't be cool anymore. Like, it just can't.
I mean, and then the story behind who he was really interesting in the comic book.
I know. Well, the comic books are real in depth.
Yes.
They have characters and stories and plots that matter and
Yeah, you
do
can't-
things.
you
You
can't
watch
pack
people
all of that into an
fucking
hour and
die
45
in
minute
that
movie.
comic book.
Yeah.
Nobody gets shot in the cartoon.
No.
Like, you watch people get murdered in that comic book. Sergeant Blood beat the living death out of all of the freaking justices on the steps. Like, all the Supreme Court justices. You just watch him stomping these dudes on the stairs.
You're talking about Major Blood?
No, yeah. What
Okay.
the fuck did I just say?
Sergeant.
Fuck. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Sergeant Slaughter, Major Blood.
Yeah.
My bad. Anyway,
Yeah.
fucking just wrecking these dudes
Uh-huh.
in the comics. You don't even see anybody get grazed in the cartoon.
I know.
Like, and they can't make the movies like the comics because they're too dark. Right?
Too
Like,
violent, too dark, and there's too many white people. That's the biggest problem with a lot of the comic books. And then if you watch, is it Marvel right now, if the hero is not a female, then it has to be of some ethnicity, even though the source material means that he's a white man.
well,
He
but it
can't
doesn't-
be a white man because white men bad.
Well, but
or-
all of them have changed in the comics even.
Right. Or
It's-
like your favorite thing, Orange Man bad. Because Orange Man bad with the comb over.
I know.
Because
Orange Man bad.
just
No.
God.
No comment.
Orangeade stupid. Anyway.
I agree, but I don't want to get into that.
But I
No,
mean,
but-
it's a giant
so-
joke at that point.
But it's not.
Whatever. Yeah, we're drifting from.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Magic in the Olympics. This has been a great conversation about G.I. Joe.
We were talking about Hasbro. All right.
We're talking
That
about
all-
Hasbro, but I
It
get
all,
it.
it all matters.
And I agree. But I think this would actually pull their fat out of the fire. I think something else that they don't know what they've got as a product. Hasbro doesn't understand the fact that D&D is something that they have that they can rely on, but they don't know how to rely on it because they don't have people they can trust that knows how to write the shit because they don't sit there and trust their writers anymore.
Well, the problem with D&D is the same problem with board games. Once you buy it, you own it.
Yeah. And they want you to
don't-
buy extra copies and
I
extra
don't
this and extra
need-
that.
I don't need 2 players handbooks. I
Yeah.
need 1.
I don't need
I
2 monster bestiaries and
Yeah,
2
just
Dungeon
like
Master
I don't
guides
need-
and
Just like I don't need 2 copies or 2 fucking operations. I don't need 2 random board game B. I don't
Yeah.
need 2.
Oh, I get it.
Like, it's the same problem. Like, Magic is the thing that I need more. I need the new one. I need the new one. Give
Or
me
give
the
me
new one.
more copies of.
Yeah, like I am attempting to obtain as many copies of Hexing Squelcher as I possibly humanly can. Right? But I did the same thing with Draniths and the same thing with voices and the same thing with cards over the years. Anyway,
Trade for them.
yeah, because look, that thing's gonna be good, and I want it.
Several copies because it's going to go in several different decks. But I mean, the difference with a lot of that is they don't know how to market, and then here's the part that just kills me. They let somebody legally put it on a JPEG, or they put it on the internet so that you don't even have to own the books. It's all already online. And there's ways of stopping from people from doing that, but they went ahead and just let them do it, and now all that source material is online. But
Well, they tried to fight, Chad, and the community rose up and said, "If you do this, you're dead."
I know.
Like, it's not about what they could or couldn't do. The community said no. So they said they literally would stop buying anything D&D oriented if they were to take away those kind of rights from companies, because they didn't want to just take away the online. They wanted to take away anything that was D&D oriented made by a third party.
Right.
And like it was a whole debacle, and the community came uproared about it, and so they went, "I give up."
Yeah.
I give up. So,
But I mean, and this would give, like I said, Hasbro a vantage point where they can possibly move forward.
That's fair.
Now I remember, it was about like 5 or 6 years ago. It was just like mid-pandemic, which I think is more than that. I don't know.
Nope, that's about 6 years ago.
There was a group of investors that wanted Hasbro to let Wizards of the Coast spin off, offshoot, and they were gonna try and hostile take over Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
At the time, they were trying to. It was player-based people. I think one of them was Rudy, or from Alpha Investments.
Yeah.
They were going to try and slow down what Wizards was doing, was putting out so much product to get pull in money.
There's a whole thing happening now where they're trying to bring a lawsuit against them again. But the problem is that from a business perspective, they're not doing anything wrong. They're not flooding the market with product. They did 1 year, and they said, "Oh, that was a mistake.
My bad.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
That hasn't happened since.
We won't do that again." The secret layers slowed down to where they're more like chunks of packs rather than like a secret layer every 2 weeks. It felt like, right?
It felt like that at one point.
Again,
I feel like last year it kind of felt like we were getting a secret layer every
way too many
month,
Yeah.
like one a month. But
Yeah.
now it's definitely slowed down
I
to
said,
like
they're
one a
starting
quarter.
they're starting to feel out the community a little better about product timing.
Well, I think they're
because-
also understanding that most of the community doesn't have the money to be
Well,
dropping that every.
But product
few
burnout
weeks.
was such a huge thing. Like,
Yeah.
so many people that we played with 2 years ago don't play anymore because product burnout caught up with them.
Yeah, because there was too much
It's
stuff there,
too much.
too hard to buy into the new thing, too expensive to keep.
Not even just
with.
the too expensive. It was too hard to keep up. They were coming out so like every week there was new stuff dropping.
Right.
And people have lives, people have jobs. Nobody can just devote all of their time to Magic the
Buying,
Gathering
yeah.
stuff. Like there's even, content creators out there that do this every day that can't, that weren't keeping up with everything that was coming out at that time.
It was ridiculous. I mean,
was crazy.
It was just stupid.
Like,
I feel like they're at a okay tempo right now. with the amount of releases we're getting every year. I
mean,
feel like it's a decent tempo.
Granted, I mean,
I still don't. I don't want this many universes beyond sets.
But,
I want more.
I was also from the
Yeah.
like you had the big set that came out in October.
Look,
and
I
then
would
the two
love
subsets
them to go back to story-oriented blocks.
Yes.
Right? We go to Lorwyn for 3 sets.
Yes, we
and
stay
the
there,
story
and-
evolves from the beginning of when we came to Lorwyn to the middle of why we're in Lorwyn to the big end of where we're leaving fucking Lorwyn. And then we go to Strixhaven. And why we're in Strixhaven, the plot of Strixhaven, the end of why the fuck we're here.
Yeah.
I would love to go back to that, but it's not possible anymore.
No.
They've gone to this one block meta and they feel like this is how they make the most impact.
Well, I mean, the reasoning
Money.
behind this, well, yeah,
Money.
The other side
Well,
of that
that
reasoning,
The
was
word you're looking for is money.
But
the big one was
Yes.
there was always one of the three was always a flop in the comparison of one of the three.
that's no different than today.
Yeah,
But it made
Every third set, one
He-
of 3 sets is
he
always
has-
a fuck up.
it made sense.
yeah, it made perfect sense.
You were
the story was great.
You were there for the whole reason why a lot of us got into Magic in the first place was the storytelling and the lore,
the
and
story
the
was so
sets
good.
made sense and the cards made sense, and you weren't going from one mechanic to another mechanic to another mechanic to another
Right, you
mechanic
got
through.
3 sets
You got
worth
3
of-
sets with a couple different mechanics in it.
But like
that you could
with
learn
cards that interacted with
that
all 3 sets.
They worked, and you could build something, and you had a good standard rotation. And
So, like one of the sets that I talk about as the being great start, crappy middle, and good end was Onslaught.
All right.
Great start. So you had cycling
Yeah.
in that, and morph was in that. Morph and cycling were in all 3 sets.
Yep.
And it worked out all the way through each set, and they added like a little tweak here and a little tweak there to each one.
But they got the
mechanics were-
synergies
were
between
there.
all 3 sets with the mechanics.
And it was all 3 that, from one end to the other, it was great in the sense of the mechanic, the story, and everything was in each 3 set. Now it's like this set has, okay, so your Lorwyn has Blight,
Vivid.
and Vivid would be considered an older.
It's
a
a new
name.
name.
Yeah.
It's attack. It's attacking. Attack doesn't cause this creature to tap, and vigilance. It's the same
Yeah.
thing that existed, but now we have a keyword.
A keyword. And but is it just those 2?
No, what was the other one? There was another one.
there's Blight, there's Vivid, and
There was another one.
Withers in it.
Wither's an old
There's-
mechanic though, but
Is it the flippy? Would you call it the flippy thing? Where
No,
you pay 1 to flip it and go flip back and forth?
that's kind of cool, but it's not transforming is not
Yeah.
mechanically unique.
I don't remember what the
Or
other
is it
one
the
was.
okay? Well, but
It's not important. The concept is what I
right,
understand.
it's you have
So,
these 2
yeah.
to 3 mechanics, and they're going to be singularly part of this and that, and it's going to be done.
Yeah.
And then
Like-
we go to Strixhaven.
Warp.
Or, warp.
I mean,
Well, so
that was a
one
cool mechanic, but we're never gonna fucking see it again.
Warp and Station was the
Well,
ones
Station was meh. Warp was
Yeah.
a cool mechanic,
Warp-
and we're never gonna bloody see
I
it
had a
again.
lot of high hopes for Warp.
I think it's cool. I still
I
think,
think it's really cool. I
I
played
just
it in in my
wish-
mono green, and
I
it's
just
really
wish that we
cool.
could get more of it.
that.
Yeah.
Why am
Yeah.
I getting one set? Why am I getting no support?
Maybe we'll see
for
it though
my-
in Fractured Reality
No.
that's coming out. We're gonna
No.
see some more Warp cards
No, Star Trek.
I
or
will-
Star Trek. Definitely, we're definitely gonna see some Warp cards.
But I mean,
They'll call it Beam, but it'll be the same thing.
Transporter.
So-
But I mean, whenever you have these mechanics and you have these sets, they were good for the story and the way it was
Okay.
done, put down, and all that kind of stuff.
But my thing is that they, no matter what you put in front of them, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to have more than a few voices
Yes.
to push this, right? This would have to be something that the world wanted, right?
It's not going to just be the Chad from New Mexico that's like, this is a great idea.
It's a great idea. Let's go.
Let's
No,
try
it's
this.
going to take the support of the entire
Let's go to
community to make this
Hasbro
happen.
and pitch
but-
this idea,
Right.
and they're going to be like, "That's a great idea.
Yeah,
Let's do it."
Let's do that.
No, because you're going to have true support from the community, and that,
Yeah.
means that people would have to be like see the vision, right?
Yeah.
You have to see the vision.
And then there's like, you're going to have to
Because
have.
I see it as it's a really cool concept, but it's not realistic.
Yeah. I mean, I think it is in my mind and the way I've got it mentally played out. You've pulled the holes. You showed me the holes, and I've now got to figure a way to plug those holes. The thing with the judges and their rankings and that kind of thing, I get that, but in my mind, whenever you
Well, I get the three rule, and maybe when we're doing this, we only run like overall game win percentage. Like we don't run game wins versus match wins versus overall game wins to find out who dropped to mess with your percent. Maybe we just run based off of your win streak,
right.
I think that would be probably the
but
easiest.
I just want you to be aware that
That is the thing.
the reasons behind them is it makes the ranking simpler.
Yeah.
When you played against Isaiah and Isaiah lost 3 rounds in a row and dropped, right? But you won in round 1. You lost percentage points because Isaiah dropped because he did so poorly in the tournament that maybe you probably shouldn't have played him.
Right.
But that's not
Yeah.
something you can control.
No.
That's something that the system controls. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I was just using you as an example. Our poor camera guy. No. You're the one who's here that I can use as a perfect example. They might not know you're here, but we know you're here.
You're always here.
You're always here.
But I mean, now I've got to figure out a way if the way that works, and then because I haven't gone into the computer side of or the algorithm that they use to
No, I know.
run that kind of stuff.
And again, you're not in that realm. You don't need to be messing with that realm. In your brain, there's no need for you to know any of that information.
Right.
All you care about is, did I win? Did I lose? Am I moving forward? Am I not?
Yeah.
Right? You're a player. That's your whole thought process.
Yep.
I need to get in here without losing more than 2 games.
And make my way to the top.
Make my way to the top 16, make my way to the top 32, make my way to the top whatever it is, so I can play for that prize because that's what I'm here for, right?
Yep.
And I love that.
Yeah.
I love that part of the game, but I wanted to be the guy that said, that's not how that works.
Right. And then we're gonna with this setup, there'll be tons of judges needed.
Yep.
In every state, and judges are gonna have to.
Good thing they're remaking that, huh?
Yeah.
It's a huge benefit that they're remaking the judge thing, not just for this, but for the
in
game
general.
period. Because
Good thing they're remaking that, huh?
Yeah.
So, I just, like I said, I'm not telling you that it's impossible. I'm just saying that the current concept needs work.
Oh, and I'm not denying that. Though the funny part is the one person I thought would understand this cannot wrap his head around the fact that the commander is considered a team, because he's such an individual player. He cannot grasp the concept of a team event, and where you're working as a team to gather points to move yourself forward. Because he's like,
but it has to be a team.
Yeah.
It has to be a team. You can't go into that kind of a thing with one player.
no.
I mean, it makes no sense.
And then he was like, well, what happens if the 2 teammates are on the same table, or you're against two teammates. Well, you accept the fact that they
One
are
of-
teammates.
Yeah. One
They
of y'all
randomly
wins.
they randomly got paired with you. You've got to decide if you need to take
Who needs the
right
points?
on the left or the one on the right gets taken out. But the points for them, they decide if they're going to take out which one of the other two guys, and leave his partner for the last, or vice versa. Or the other two guys have to decide which one of those two they need to take out first, and then take the other guy out, and then the other guy.
No, I know. I
I mean,
understand,
the
Chad,
most
Yeah.
the most important thing I feel like with that would be just setting up your tournament brackets correctly and then minimizing the friendly fire
well, and that's
within
easy.
setting up those brackets.
That's
It's easy in the earlier rounds, but then when you get to later rounds,
It's gonna
it's
be
going to
hard.
be 2v2 because
Yes.
you're going to end up with a guy on your team and then two guys on another team,
Yes.
and it's going to end up like that.
gonna be
So it's
like
not going to
two-headed
matter as
giant
much
kinda feel.
as
Yes.
where it's round one and you're sitting at a table with two guys from team A and you and another dude, and you're both playing. Now you're playing two-headed giant against
two individual guys.
yeah, individual guys that are on the same team. So their team's going to get points no matter what.
Right.
So-
that's what I'm saying. Like, you just, at that point, they're just trying to figure out who gets the points, right?
Right. Who gets the higher points, but the team gets all the points together.
Well, of course, but it's, what I'm saying? Like, so the team thing isn't an issue. I don't see that as an issue. I mean, I know who you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I'm just saying.
It was funny to him going, it makes no sense to me, because he's always been an individual player. And that's one of his,
Well, everybody's.
that was one of the things that he always liked about Magic. It was him versus,
Yeah,
world.
it's me versus the world, and that's
and it wasn't,
it's the whole concept behind Commander, the Highlander, dude. There can
Yeah.
only be one, but it's Magic is a community game,
Yeah.
and it should foster community outreach and building positive community and teamwork and things that games are supposed to do.
right.
That's what
And
that's
teamwork
why
would
we
be
play games
Yeah,
is
it's
to
like
make
getting
friends and have
teamwork would
fun.
be an amazing thing out of Commander. Like if we could get two-headed Commander to pop, as well again.
I love Two-Headed Giant. I think it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
It's complicated when you have a lot of new players who have never played Two-Headed Giant before, because then it's a lot of explaining and 60 life and yada yada, and there's still only 21 commander damage even though you have 60 life, and you still can only take 10 poison. It's weird, and you get 15 poison instead of 10, and
Yeah.
But-
things get weird.
once you learn it, it's a lot of fun, and it fosters that environment that you're not used to playing in Commander, where now I have to work with somebody in
Right.
order to win.
Right. But, I don't know. There's
There's like I said, there's holes, but I knew for this format or for this thing, you had to add the most popular format in Magic, which is Commander, to this list.
Of course.
Now, if you want to forcibly move everybody into a bracket 3 thing, that's a different setup. And to my mind, that's a different way of playing. That's where a lot of people will have problems, and you're going to have guys that play
unfun deck.
unfun decks and really douchey. But if you know, let everybody know, this is a competitive Commander setup. As part of your team, you understand you're moving into this world.
Yep. CEDH.
And if you know this before you go in, you're not going to show up with 3 guys with 4 pre-co decks. And the joke would be,
yeah, and the whole thing is this is about determining who is the best.
when
And
you're going
if
to
you-
the Olympics, you want to put your best foot forward.
Yeah.
And you play your best stuff, and you move in your best way, and you go with the best things you've got. And then, like right now, if we went today,
This was literally my next question. Was if we went right now, if the 3 of us were packing right now, what would you bring?
for Commander,
Yeah.
probably my Atali, and then by hook or by crook, get everything I needed before I walked out there.
What about you, T?
Ooh. I would probably take Dargo.
Dargo Timna?
Yeah. I haven't
Solid
I haven't
choice.
gotten to play test my Dargo side list yet, and I really think it's gonna pop hard. But without play testing it right this moment, I would take
Timna Dargo.
Yeah.
And yourself?
I'd probably take Obnixilis.
It does the thing.
It's I feel like I would make some tweaks to it
Oh,
before I left, because there's some things that I need to make it a little faster on turn 1 and 2. But after, if this dude hasn't popped off on turn 2 and 1, I have a pretty decent chance of winning, because I can tutor out the things I need to slow him down at that point. I have enough mana to cast him.
Well,
But if he does his thing on turn 1 that he usually can do in that Dargo Timna list, I have no hope, because I need at least 3 mana to start slowing him down a little bit with a Rug of Smothering and things like that.
That deck is so good.
But I've put in things because T and you have been the people who taught me CDH, and T plays a lot of Spellslinger decks and a lot of play 8, 9, 10, 11 spells in a turn and
Well, that's how you win.
draw a
CDH,
bunch
yeah.
of cards, and I've kind of made a list to stop that and make it to my advantage when he does that stuff. So it works, but it doesn't work on turn 1 and 2. And he's found a way to beat me that way, because now he can just do it on turn 1 and 2 when I can't slow him down yet.
I mean,
but I
So-
mean, that's the other side of that for this setup as well, is that means there's going to be a lot of fast games
oh yeah.
for Commander. But there's other sides, like we have
well,
one guy that plays.
There could be fast games, or there could also be every game is going to go 90 minutes because so-and-so is playing stacks. And
Because Root Maze sucks.
yeah. So
Well,
it
it's
could
not
be
so
a
much
lot of
fun.
fast games, or it could be a
Maze,
lot of slow games.
Dryneth Magistrate and what was that?
Vexing Bauble.
Vexing Bobble. And
Dryneth Vexing Bobble, yeah.
there's some other cards that just make it to where it's like, oh dear lord,
Collector Hoof.
oh, oof, and
Oof, bro. The oof, bro.
and then that,
He's so
that
mean.
blue thing that Taylor plays that was a stacks deck. I forget the.
I try to put those things out of my mind as fast as possible
Well,
so that I don't lose sleep over
Don't get me
it.
wrong. I've got a stacks deck for it's a C deck that was
I need more information.
Arkham Daxon.
But what about it?
Yeah, it's a mono blue stacks build.
Oh, yeah, like Winter
But
Order
that's
and
when
stuff.
yeah. But he's
Yeah.
when he plays it, it's stacky pieces that
yeah.
But it's a mono blue thing. And then I've got that Time deck, which is all
It's
stacks
all
pieces
stacks, yeah.
to
The
slow
whole
your
deck is
appetite.
stacks.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it like you're saying, it could be a lot of slow games too. If everybody's showing up with stacks pieces, then you're in for a long freaking day, man.
It is also the meta, and depending on what's being played right now, because to my understanding, right now it's all about the turn 1, turn 2 win, and if you can get that before somebody drops down anything that's
Rustic Study
yeah.
or some other kind of
That's
value piece.
yeah. That's my
and
thing
then
right
you're
now is
rolling.
getting my deck to the turn 1, turn 2 being viable, because I can after turn 3 I'm okay, but
I mean, and that's freaking Atali can go off on turn 2,
I've seen Chad play Tolly turn 1.
and that's
Not-
crazy.
Not win.
no,
but
play him.
I mean, there's been a couple games where I've gotten all out turn 1 and things like that, but
I was like, but
It-
Dargo, I've won on turn 1. I've won on turn 2. Like, it does its thing
yep, it does. And
very well.
I have things that are fast, but not fast
That fast.
enough.
But and each team member is not going to play, or should not play. I'm put it like that. Should not play all the same deck, because you're going to want some variety amongst what you're playing. But then again, you never know, because it's a team, and some teammates go, "All right, we're going to build 4 of the same deck," and be a
4
boring.
cannons.
Yeah.
4 cannons.
And I hope all 4 of you get stuck on the same table together, and the game never ends.
Oh, bro, they all scoop in succession.
Yes.
Well, I mean, and then the next step on that one would be, because of people that like to stall out games, like you said, a timer on that setup would be the same thing. You know what I mean? Because
God, shut the fuck up, dude.
so timers in that setup would be very important, because you get guys who one of their biggest strategies is to sit there and stall the game out.
Well, and calling back to earlier,
yeah,
like that
if
would
you
be
stall out,
you.
you don't get points.
Should get penalized for that.
Well, I
you
mean,
get
if the game stalls out and
you
nobody
get a
wins,
chess clock timer for your turn. You get a 45-second timer, and that's what you get. And if you're in doing stuff and the timer runs out, then that's fine because you're doing your thing. But if you're sitting there looking at your cards and just sitting there looking at your cards and that timer runs out, then you pass. Your turn's over. You pass.
We've got to progress the game.
Yeah.
It's on Arena has the rope, and it gives you. It doesn't rope you automatically. It gives you about a minute and a half before it starts roping.
I just said 45 is a thing, but a reasonable amount of time where you have enough time to make an informed decision.
You get 3 minutes, the rope starts. You get 3 ropes, and it skips your turn. Not just the rest of that turn. Like it auto skips your next turn unless you touch something.
Right. Because I think that they put that in there because people would be in the middle of the game and their
Phone ring or whatever.
internet goes down.
Yep. You don't want people sitting there waiting for the game.
But you've got interactions that happen. If you're still playing and your timer is up and you're still doing your thing and you're finding the win and you're going and digging and digging and digging and digging and digging, it makes sense to let you finish what you're doing.
Yes.
And periodically ask, are you done yet? Or did you win yet? Is not a bad thing. I'm not trying to push somebody because that is a strategy I've been known to do at big tournaments, is to take those guys that are just constantly just switching through their cards and not doing anything. And I'm like, so are you done yet? And then it's no. Are you going to win yet? No. Make your mind up. Come on. We're not here for, the entire time. And I've been loud enough a couple times where the judge comes over and is like, everything all right? He's just sitting there twitching through his cards. And I'm like, why? Because at that point, you're like, let's advance.
We need to advance the game. Think or don't make up your mind.
Shit or get off the pot.
Well, and it's a psychological form of
Oh, I know.
ways of
But slow
trying to
play
win,
is
and
slow play is illegal, and Chad's not wrong to bring that.
No,
to the
slow
judge's
play is
attention.
absolutely illegal.
But
And
guys, and I know guys that sit there and will take an entire 5 minutes looking and seeking and trying to, and they're trying to move 8 moves ahead. And it's kind of hard to move 8 moves ahead whenever you don't have the 8 cards that you got stacked on top.
Well, and you don't know what your opponent's going to do in these next 8 moves either, and you don't know the interaction they have. And
exactly.
It's cool. Think 1-2 moves ahead, but you don't need to waste 15 minutes thinking about, I'm going to do this in 8 turns.
Yes.
When we're on this turn, and we need to worry about what's going on this turn so we can get to the next turn.
I'm more concerned about this turn because this is the turn I'm trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm trying to win on this turn.
And then one of the funny parts is when he passes, somebody else wins, and then he's ticked.
Yeah.
And this individual just gets mad, and I'm like, going, dude, you saw all the possibilities you could do. You didn't know what he had in his hand. You didn't have responses. You didn't have the solution in your hand. Why are you mad? Because I didn't see it. And I'm like going, dude.
You can't see it. That's the whole point of playing a card game where people's hands aren't revealed.
Right. But it's that kind of mentality of, I should have saw this coming. I should have seen this view. I should have.
So,
But those are the type of players.
This avoids that.
Yeah.
Those are the type of players that it's never that they just got outplayed. It's
they're
always
also
something else that contributes to the fact that they lost.
They're
it's
also
not the fact that guy just happened to have better cards at the
Right.
time and they lost.
But that's also the individual he's a singular playing kind of guy. He would play the 60 card format or the one-on-one format over the commander because he's not a team guy, and that's just his mentality.
Well, yeah, and Commander isn't a team
It's technically
format
not a team
either.
format.
It's just a larger pod.
It's a community event.
Yeah.
It's more about, so one-on-one is very much so like chess. There's not a whole lot of like banter.
Mm-hmm.
Community, like Commander, there's a lot of just shooting the shit happening at the table. A lot of people just giggling, talking, not even about the game, just about random crap happening in their day. You know,
Exactly.
Like-
Talking about what happened at work, what
Yeah,
didn't happen at work.
Playing Magic with the boys is one of those things that just lets you chill.
But I want that at that venue because it gives a sense of a team part, which the Olympics is. It's called the Olympic team for a reason. You're on the Olympic team, so I mean that's my take on why I'm wanting Commander, the most popular format in Magic today. Also, that's why I don't want to add Vintage and Legacy into this, is because that is such a narrow field of people who play Vintage and Legacy that it would be considered, in my mind, considered to be a loss in the world, because for you to play Vintage and Legacy, you would have to have so much money involved just to get started.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, that is so much money to bother with you. I don't want to do that for people. I don't want to be that guy in that situation where we're going to have a legacy tournament. We're going to have a vintage tournament. What the?
Why?
And whenever you're at a major event, Grand Prix, Magic Fest, whatever, you can throw one of those and maybe 8 people show up and play it. Maybe. And that's if they're prepared enough to bring their stuff.
Not here.
No. But I mean,
Not you're
no
not
way.
gonna get 8 people here.
no.
No, he's talking about like Magic Con. Or
Yeah.
Star City or something. Like
You'll get maybe 8 people to play in that. Where you're at a major event like that, you're hoping, and when somebody says legacy or vintage, you're hoping that there's 8 people that'll play in that. I saw what was it, 6 years ago, they had what is it called? What's the draft when they do draft or a beta?
Oh, I don't remember. what
It's like
called.
Cincinnati, or it's some kind of East Coast team, East Coast city.
Chicago or
No,
something.
it's
I
like-
know what you're
but
talking about.
It's a format where they take the packs, open them up in front of you.
All 15 cards
Yeah.
are revealed, and in order, people take out of that pack
Yeah, a card.
a card in order. All 8 people, all 8 people in the draft pool, and then the next 7 people pool, and then the next person's pack is open. Not like that same person's next pack, but the next person opens a pack, take 1 card, and then everybody drafts open-ended, like revealed packs. Yeah.
And they did this with a box of beta. Now the what was cool about the tournament was whoever won everything. He won
the box.
the box. Even though it was open, even though it was drafted, everybody sleeved everything. It was half of his joke that the guys that were opening the packs were having gloves as they were opening them, and the people who were got the card, just give me the damn card, and they sleeved it right then and there. And somebody's like, you're not worried about the oil on your hands? Like, dude, we're going to play with them.
We're about to shuffle these.
But even though they put them in sleeves, even though all the other things that you go on, we're about to shuffle these, dude. Chill out.
I would have fucking bridge shuffled that shit and watched everyone have a heart attack. It's like,
I bridge shuffle my commander decks. What
yeah,
are you talking about?
I do it. I don't care.
I've gotten out of that habit just because I can shuffle better with stacking them.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's
So anyway,
It's hard.
sidetracking.
It's hard to sit there and be viable for legacy vintage in that setup.
Of course not.
And then
There's no
it's just
reason to do that. There's not enough of a player base.
No
not
way.
enough player base.
Commander has millions of players. Vintage has hundreds of players.
And then you got Pioneer, Modern, and
Modern
Standard.
is probably the most popular 60 card format.
Yeah. And then you've got the Pioneer and the Standard, which the reason I'm throwing Standard in there is you still have people that play it paper, but there's also the people that
Feels
play it.
so stagnant.
There's also the people that play it on Arena, and a lot of those Arena guys are making these Pro Tours via Arena. And then they got to scramble to get the deck built in paper to go to the arena,
Yeah.
to the whatever event they got an invitation to, which is hilarious to me.
Yep.
Because a lot of those guys just play arena, and it's like, and when they get to the event, and they're playing, and they miss half their triggers because the computer's not there to fix all the triggers.
Because the computer does your triggers for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
I-
whole different thing when you're sitting at a table with people.
I thought that was funny the first time they did that, and the guy lost. He had he was one of the best players on arena, and you okay?
No, that hit the wrong part of my fucking.
Freaking dying over there or what?
So-
But
Shit.
he's
That was freaking metal, dude.
make him snot soda.
No, I don't know what the fuck that was, but it like dried the back of my throat like nothing. I was just like, I can't breathe.
I tend to have that effect on me.
He said that was fucking metal.
But you've got people who play on arena and don't know the triggers. And he had the best record moving into this this event. He was probably playing one of the most powerful decks in the meta, and didn't know how to use it in paper because the computer took care of all his triggers. And I just laughed because how can you be a player and that you just play online and you let the computer do all the triggers, and then the judge goes, "What's the problem? You lost. Why did you lose?" And then he goes, "I forgot all my triggers because I'm used to the computer doing all the triggers for me." And I'm like going, "You can't
Sucks
be,
to suck, nerd.
you can't be that way in a live event. You got to be."
Papers. You got to be paying attention.
And you've got to know all your triggers in a 60 card format. You need to have been playing your deck against other decks and
In reality.
yeah.
That's why I
Physical.
don't like Arena. It makes you a lazy player.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to keep up with your own triggers anymore.
It just arena makes me mad for other reasons, but arena is why standard is a dead format almost in my view.
Not me. Standard's dead because of a 3-year rotation and a 5-year set.
This is
You-
another
how do you-
major
how do
contributing
you
factor.
how do
I think
you
they're both
kill
majorly
how do you
contributing to
kill
the death
a,
of Standard. But
rotating format by making it stagnant.
I agree.
yeah, it needs to be way shorter.
Well, 2 years was perfect.
Yeah.
There was no reason for them to
Extend it.
extend it to 3.
15 months was too short.
15 months was too short.
No, 24 was perfect.
24 months was
And-
great, but the thing is like the addition of foundations
For
is
a 5-year
as
set,
a
yeah.
5-year thing in standard is crazy.
That was a dumb move.
I mean, I can't say dumb move.
We'll leave it at 3 years with
Well,
everything else then.
But I mean, I can't say it was a dumb move. I get the concept. It was like we're gonna print this
core
core set, and it's gonna have all the cards you need
Yes.
for the basics,
But why make it 5 years?
so that way they didn't have to do it every 3.
It
I
defeats,
get the
defeats the purpose.
concept. I do. I get the concept, but you're talking about a format that rotates. That's supposed to be about the new, all about the new. And when you have 3 years, 4 years, and 5 years worth of cards that you can just pull from,
Yeah, that's not the new.
Well, and
anymore.
that's the solid joke about that is 5 years of Lana War Elf.
5
That was
years
not-
of omniscience, 5 years of so many things.
Yeah,
man.
but that was the big one where everybody was.
I know
mad.
5 years of
Llanowar
Llanowar
Elf.
in standard.
And then I think the other one is now that Hydra. Everybody's like, Jesus Christ, that thing is so nasty.
Yeah, dude. The whatever the landfall hydra.
Yeah.
that thing's crazy.
Yeah, that thing.
And so good, so good.
Like I understand that why you want the formats you want and why you don't want the formats you don't want. I understand in theory the way to make this happen. What I don't see is the demand, right? Like, but getting the idea out there could create that demand. So
I hope
having
it
this
does.
conversation when this show is bigger is probably going to be an even better idea.
Oh, I definitely don't think this is the last time we're going to be visiting this topic.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
To Chad. Like, I know that you also saw some things and are going to think about some things, and we'll revisit it then, and then, so on and so forth. But the more people that hear about it, the more people that might be interested in it, the more,
I mean, granted, it is a pet project I've been pushing or working through my head for about 2 or 3 or more than 2 years. But it was one that started way back in the 90s. But it's been something I've been like since the last Olympics, the Summer Olympics. Because to be honest, when we're filming this, the Winter Olympics are going on right now.
started today or
Monday or Sunday, one of the two.
yesterday. Yeah,
Yeah, opening ceremony, I think, was yesterday.
Or Sunday, one of the two.
yesterday was Sunday.
Yesterday was Sunday.
My brain is not here. I swear to God.
That's why I'm saying yesterday.
Dude, I'm
3
used to
times.
filming on Tuesdays. Sorry. But because right now the Winter Olympics are going on, and half the joke is you could do this at the Winter Olympics. It's indoors, big whoop-a-doo. Or you can do it in the summertime or the Summer Olympics. And as a twist, you've got both options. Now,
Huge wrench for all Magic players, and we make them play outside.
get out in the sun, jerk. Yeah.
Hold down your cards, boys.
I can remember back whenever I first started playing Magic, and we set a table outside of our local game store, and a buddy of ours named Moses started busting out with lead miniatures to put on top of decks to hold them down because where we live is a giant windstorm.
All the time.
So
All
it was
the
just
time.
it was nice to play outside, but it was like we were in the shade. It wasn't that bad, but all of a sudden that wind would catch across and whee! All your stuff would go down the block, and you're like, oh crap, And this is before sleeves.
Yeah. Well, we live inside of a sandblaster, so it's
Those words.
pretty much, that's what you get here 95%
It's called
of the time.
a desert for a reason.
So yeah, I think that the idea is cool. I just don't know about.
It would take a lot of development and a
It's
lot
gonna
more
take a lot of work.
And it's also
expanding
going to
upon these ideas.
It's also going to take
Yes.
the right person involved.
Don't worry, I got you, bro. I'm here for you, dog.
It's going to be it's not going to take somebody from the middle of nowhere to be the champion of this. It's going to take somebody else with a lot of clout.
Honestly, I think you could be the champion of this. That's not the problem. The problem is getting the community interested in the idea.
I hope.
You could be the Ash Ketchum
Not-
from Pallet Town.
In the 90s, they did, Magic on ESPN.
Yeah.
We could do it again. It just would take the right vote of confidence.
True.
It would take the right amount of viewership and the powers that be to see that it's profitable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Because that, at the end of the day, that's what is going to take.
That's what makes
it has to be profitable.
That's what makes
If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense.
I also thought about teams are going to need coaches. And those are where some of those pro players that didn't make the teams or didn't make it would be involved.
Put the cards on the table. Put them harder, harder, faster. Tap that land. Hurry up.
Is using that right now really what you want to do?
Right. Do you really want a generous gift as Lana War Elf?
Is that
really the
best
smart
choice?
thing to do?
But because you're going to have guys that are going to know the game just as good as you. They may have been like 3-4 steps behind where you ended up making it, and they were behind because either in the commander setup a teammate didn't make enough points or something along those lines. But you know them as a pro player, and they're good at what they've got, and they would make a great coach. You've got guys like that today. It would be neat to see those guys be coaches, And I'm not saying who, because we don't know who's going to be those guys.
Looking at you, Prof.
Yeah, I was like, the professor.
We're looking at you, Prof.
I'm
Prof for Team USA coach.
I was thinking Kibler, but okay.
Now, he'd probably compete.
Oh, I know he would, but like
But
he
you
just
can't
got.
tell me the prof wouldn't be the
Oh,
best
that would be
hype
funny. Oh God, that
Even
would
if
be
he
so
wasn't
awesome.
the coach, he'd have to be the hype man.
coach. The best hype coach.
Yeah. Tap that land, tap that land, tap that land, go. Tap that land, tap that land, tap that land, go. God, could you? That would be so funny to watch him walk up and down the team line, or go from table to
Untap,
table.
upkeep, draw. Untap, upkeep, draw.
The team shirts: untap, upkeep, think about, think about, think about, draw? Question mark. Processing.
Right.
But I think there's a lot of things still to expand on this. For sure.
Of course. It's
Going
just,
in the future.
it's just a lot to happen. Fuck you, phone.
That's like the 15th time you have dropped your phone
Look,
today.
bro, it's because it keeps buzzing, and every time it buzzes, it goes. Meow.
It's your phone committing suicide, telling you
know.
you don't need to
don't need
deal
this
with work
thing.
right now.
You're telling people, quit talking to me. I'm not at work, or I'm not where I need to be.
I'm not at work. I'm not at work.
But I hope.
Anyway, I think that the idea is cool, and I think that with the right help,
Yeah,
it could be awesome.
I'd love to hear people's comments about it. I'd love to hear what other people's reactions would be. I think it's viable. I think it's a place where a community that is worldwide can get together and have some fun and play some competitiveness and be competitive and all the stuff that needs to be as a part of the game and on a global scale. Viewed, watched, and granted, I mean, whenever they broadcast the Olympics, they're not showing every event all the time. They're showing some events part of the time and moving from event to event to event to event. But you're also going to have those people was it Twitch right now that broadcasts all the Magic stuff?
Twitch does a lot of it.
So you
But
would have
YouTube does a lot. I mean, there's a lot of places
Right.
that it would be. This is the age of the internet. Everything would be live streamed in
Right.
multiple
So you've
locations
got-
and platforms.
several tables being filmed all at once, and there's lots of things that could happen that could make this a big event that would be good. Even the trials, even the other stuff that goes along with it. I've seen the college track and field stuff where you got like 30 schools, all everybody's vying for a seat on the Olympic team or the U.S. national team or this team or that team, and those are all broadcast on. Was it ESPN and Fox Sports and all of those other ones?
Yeah.
So I mean, you can make it to where people are watching this and people are seeing this develop and move forward. I mean, you're going to have guys that are going to shine, but you're also going to have guys that shine and then burn out, and those may be the ones that get the next year or the year after that. But one of the big benefits of this is you don't have to be 20 years old to go on this Olympic team thing. You don't have to be a dedicated athlete for the last 15 years to make this team. You have to be a dedicated player. You have to know what you're doing. You have to be knowledgeable of the game, but you don't have to be 120 pounds, looking like a thin rail,
2% body fat.
looking like a thin rail to go do the pole vault.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can be a guy that weighs 300.
Well, it's a
400
lot
pounds.
like esports, where anyone can be an athlete
Right.
in this and represent their state and their country and their region, and you don't have to be, chiseled from stone to go and be an Olympic athlete in this.
Correct. Which is, and then we had that nice conversation with that kid from our local esport team.
Yeah,
And-
that was a really great interview. That's on on the Guild Talk channel. That was fun, man. It was a lot of fun having him here and learning more about the age of esports now from where we all grew up from two guys that grew up in the arcade, not in front of the computer playing
Yeah.
games.
Or worse, the Atari.
Yes, the Atari.
I feel like that that'll also moves a lot of people in to the world of you're considered an athlete at that point of a non-athletic sport ish.
Yeah, well, athletics doesn't necessarily just mean sports.
Well, I mean, like,
Anymore.
what do you consider a chess player? He's a player of chess on the Olympic level or on the world level, And it's just, it would be one of those things that people that aren't usually considered an Olympian, this would be a cool way to be an Olympian.
Yeah, and it's about, like we said, it's about community and extending that community out more, and maybe having people watch this that have never even heard of Magic the Gathering or played it before, that now see it and think this might be fun to try, and now these are new players that are getting introduced to this game, and that's how we keep the game alive.
Yeah.
Is new players, because eventually we're all not going to be here anymore, and
Yeah.
new players need to take our place, or else the game is not going to exist anymore.
That's right.
I do believe we've covered it all.
Yeah,
think. If you got another question for me, or
Not that I can think of at the moment.
I think we covered pretty much all that needs to be said now. We're obviously you're gonna take this and kind of go back to the drawing board a little bit and expand on it some more, and then we'll revisit it again in
the
another
holes
episode.
that we talked about.
Yeah,
Like you said,
but-
revamp it a little bit,
Yeah.
readjust, and make some positive adjustments, man. I
Figure
think
out
it's-
the not so much a bracket, but the 3 wins and the computer program setup thing. Maybe I don't know.
like I
We'll
said,
just have to
there's
figure it
some-
out.
Yeah, there's just some hurdles to.
Which are this is very much an infant thing. What we're doing right now, what I'm talking about, it may take another 30 years before it's even a plausibility.
yeah,
But then again, I'm also of the opinion that if it takes that long, it takes that long. I think it's a good idea. I think it's something that needs to be in the discussion for as long as it can be. So I hope it stays there.
for sure. I think it's gonna be something that we'll see more of in the future.
Right.
If not the Olympics, something of a higher level of what we have now, or more representation of the World Championship, where it becomes more of an Olympic level thing.
Well, I mean, and I'm trying to make it as broad as well, also too. So
Yeah,
I just haven't figured out whenever we're talking about other countries, and like, let's go for
No.
other countries in that process. But I can't think of right now how to convey this to them in that sense of moving this around.
Well, but
Yeah.
that's part of the community, Chad. That's
Right.
part of people taking it from point A to point B to point C to point D, all the way to Zimbabwe.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think we got a person that needs a break over here.
we're about done anyway.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all. And thank y'all. And please send the conversation back. Ask questions. Please comment so that I can know where the holes we have, the holes we need to fill, because it's important.
Yep. And as always, merch store, socials are all in the description.
follow, like, etc.
Yeah, like, subscribe, share, let people know.
Please comment.
Push the buttons.
Let us know what you guys think on this idea and how we can expand on it more. And we'll be back next week for another episode. But until then, we'll see y'all.
Bye.